Okay, day 3 in the hospital, and I am getting ready to go down for the second round of plasmapheresis. The scary thing, I was doing actually really good. Not a real big improvement yet, but feeling just brighter and more alert and happier actually. But then just now, I just had this really strange flare, and I can't use my right hand. So here's it's it's curling, and this is something that happens with CIDP. I can't really explain it and how it came on so suddenly. Like, I was literally just totally normal. I normally don't have this level of functionality loss with my hands, and then all of a sudden, just my right hand just kind of, it went like half of my hand. Like, this part is fine. It's these two fingers, and that half of my hand just kind of went. It's like it's asleep, and I can't. It's kind of numb, and I can't. It's hard to control. It's like, see, I can control them, but it's really difficult and requires a lot of concentration. And they just want to curl up like that. So that's really unpleasant and not something I like to see. I've been walking with a walker, and it requires concentration, but am able to, and feeling actually pretty strong otherwise. So my potassium levels are really low. Not really low, I take that back. They're just a tad low, so it shouldn't be causing this. And there might be some other level that's off from the plasmapheresis, but they actually think probably a flare-up of CIDP, something to do with the break between plasmapheresis sessions and antibodies rebuilding, and it's just like getting super aggressive. And actually, last time we did plasmapheresis, between rounds 1 and 3, I completely lost the ability to walk for a little bit. So it sounds like it's that little thing again. So that's gonna be interesting, since if it's happening twice in a row, that gives my doctor some clues on how I'm responding to this. And hopefully get plasmapheresis soon, and hopefully that goes really well, and then I can just sleep. Okay, I'm done with the second round of plasmapheresis. It went pretty well. So I didn't get enough sleep the last couple nights with all the interruptions in the hospital, and I think really, like, I was having a lot of pain, very uncomfortable, a lot of stuff that I have happen at home. But at home, a lot of times, not having interruptions, eventually I get the sleep. And sometimes I end up sleeping a lot, like, long into the day. And here you can't do that, because doctors and nurses are coming in every 30 minutes all day. You can't really get naps in or anything. So doctors emphasize one of the most important things for me tonight is to get a lot of good sleep. The second most important thing is nutrition. My nutritional levels are what they said not good. And that's and that's because I can't. My GI system, my stomach, my digestive system haven't been functioning. The nerve damage in those, kind of like nerve damage controlling muscles in, say, my legs or arms, it also affects the movement of my digestive tract, and those muscles contracting and expanding and doing what they need to do to digest food. There's also downstream impact to things like pancreatic function. So, or at least theoretically, we're not exactly sure what goes on with me, but it happens that I've been struggling before I got into the hospital digesting solid food, and that's continuing for sure here. I'm on a pretty soft food diet, a lot of liquids, and they just said that I'm not getting the nutrient profile that I need in order to heal. And I'm sure that's a problem at home too, although it's worse here, because this is really funny for me to find out that the food available at hospitals for someone like me who can't eat very many things, doesn't have a lot of ability to eat a variety of foods. So at home, I'm used to depending on a lot of soft foods and soups with a lot of variety, and here it's just like chicken soup over and over and over. They've got Jello and they've got milkshakes, and that's just really not great nutrients. Also at home, I depend on nutrient blend powders, these mixes that go into milk or water, and have, like, it's basically like way better than a multivitamin. This is fairly expensive stuff that I have. And so because my nutrition levels have been so challenged, it's causing my your clotting factors are affected by plasma when you lose blood plasma. And they today in plasma exchange gave me, I can't remember the measurement, 1,500 something. It's like a unit and a half of frozen plasma, donated plasma, whole plasma from other donors, because I'm not rebuilding my levels in my bloodstream. Particularly the clotting factor is key. And then my potassium levels have been challenged, as I mentioned earlier. Not too bad, but because plasmapheresis depletes it, I had like a lunch full of very potassium rich foods: banana, avocado, potato, some melon, and then calcium levels also, although they've started giving me calcium with the plasmapheresis. So then Jordan brought up for me from the house, he ran up here a bunch of my home supplements that they weren't able to provide here, as well as my home nutrient powders, and I'm going to start depending on those and shifting to those. And the doctors were, happy to see that. It's so weird to me that in a hospital of all places, you I had to go to my house to get better nutrition. But hospitals are for immediate, urgent, that type of thing. Some procedures, some unusual cases like mine's very unusual. I've been told quite a bit that it sounds like I'm possibly the only patient they have that goes through what I go through, and who has a case like mine where I'm getting IVIG and plasmapheresis on a regular basis, it looks like right now. So yeah, that's all been very interesting. I am going to get some sleep. Oh, and the other good news is the trouble I was having with my hand earlier, after plasmapheresis, it was gone. For the most part, it's a little, see, look, it's a little shaky, but it seems like, yeah, I couldn't do that before. So hopefully that's just over with. It was a very temporary thing. I'm walking with support, with a walker or leaning on rails. That hasn't changed a whole lot, so we'll be watching over the next 24 to 48 hours how that goes, how all my different levels go, and how my body functions. And one of the hopes is that with improvement, my digestion would also improve. Last time, before I left the hospital, I was able to eat solid foods, like a little bit soft solid foods, easy solid foods, but fish and some meats and vegetables, like the softer vegetables and stuff. So that's the goal. All right. Pretty happy with the way things are going. I think this is going really well, and things are going, like, I've got good nurses, I've got good doctors. They've been very involved. So thanks for watching.